Hello and welcome, Reds. Thank you very much for tuning in for our instant post-match reaction. Liverpool have got their first away win in the Premier League this season. It's been a long time coming, a very long time coming. But Reds, if you're new around here and want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Put your bell notification on as well. I'm joined by a very special guest, and a good friend of mine and a massive supporter of the channel. You know who he is. Owen from Cop On. How are you doing, mate?
I'm very well. Let us know if I don't know. For some reason, I can see just your thumbnail thing. So let us know in the comments if you can actually see our faces, because I can't see myself. Oh, here I am. Oh la la. Oh, I don't know if I wanted to do that, but there you go. Here I am. Oh, I'm really happy. I mean, there's a lot of, you could be miserable about this, or, a bit of a party pooper and say that, the XG wasn't good. Tottenham had loads of chances. We were a bit lucky, but balls to all that. This is the party. 3 huge points, massive 3 points, not a massive performance, but I'm just focusing on the positives because we've had so many negatives that when the positives come around, you've really got to appreciate them, haven't you? And I'm absolutely bouncing. How are you? You're okay?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Thank you very much, Owen, for joining me. Make sure you head over to the Cop On podcast on all social media platforms as well. Owen's absolutely smashing it at the minute, so if you're not aware of Owen's content, please do head over and support him. He's a massive supporter of the channel, as always. But Shay, big up chat as well. If you are watching on the repeat, do get your post-match thoughts on anyway, and we'll get featured in the tomorrow's episodes anyway. But as Shay said there, well-deserved 3 points. Massively there, Shay. I've got a couple of talking points. Firstly, I mainly probably speak about the first 45-minute period for Liverpool. In terms of Darwin Nunez, really impressed me in the opening 45 minutes. He had a couple of sighters. I think he had one early on. It was like 2-3 minutes into the game anyway. Tested Hugo Lloris at his front post. And I tell you what, Owen, he's had a couple of sighters this season. There's something in the back of my mind this season where Darwin Nunez, as we've seen in recent weeks and months, he's had a couple of efforts that have tested goalkeepers or at least cannoned off the bar, really, mate. But can you foresee Darwin Nunez scoring a goal of the season contender this season? Because 1 week, one of these shots that he's had, I think he's cannoned the post at least 4 or 5 times this season anyway. So it's one of them's going to eventually drop into the back of the net, aren't they?
Well, exactly. That's it. It's maths. It's the laws of probability. And yes, one of them's going to hit the back of the net. I mean, he had that lovely volley. I was on a train in the first half and I was watching it on my phone, but the signal kept going in and out. But there was a few seconds that I did get with that beautiful volley that was well saved by Hugo Lloris. That, it was a bit outrageous to even take it on, but it was on target. It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, Darwin, I saw in the second half that the ball bounces off him a lot. Sometimes he takes a ridiculously heavy touch and all that. We knew that before he arrived, because if you look at his passing accuracy, he's only 58% last year for Benfica. But he's not about passing accuracy. He's about being a monster, being a headache. He would give someone with a hangover another headache, because he's everywhere. He's mind-blowing. He's the kind of, I don't know, like a multicolored explosion of joy and madness.
He's majestic, and he's a bundle of energy. You don't know what you're going to get from each week. It'd be interesting to see. I think Uruguay are going to the World Cup, if I'm right. I'm pretty sure he will be getting selected for a national team, mate. But when I look at it, mate, in terms of the first 45 and even this season, mate, I was speaking to my dad, and I don't know how you feel, chat, as well. There's not many world-class players at the age of 22, 23 years old. I think eventually that touch will eventually come to him. And obviously the language barrier, but most importantly, I think I seen enough in that first 45-minute period to give me a lot of joy, and a lot of joy for everyone at home, mate. And I'm still going to be banging a drum. I think he's had a great start, apart from the sending off this season. Once he learns the better communication tactics with his teammates, and you can see he is grasping English much better, as we've seen in a couple of the clips this week as well. So, but yeah, I was massively impressed with him, mate. And obviously with the first goal as well, Chas, Darwin Nunez, I think he intentionally means this touch. It gets him away from the centre halves, and it was the first time in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's what everyone's been asking for now in terms of Darwin Nunez getting his head up in terms of the box, and he was calm, composed, could have easily have snatched at it. He did have a couple of snatch shots in the second half, mate, but Darwin Nunez, is that one aspect of Darwin's game that you've been crying out for this last couple of weeks, but he did show it tonight in terms of touch, got away, evaded the centre half, and he found Salah, probably one of the most deadliest finishers in the whole of Europe, when he's in this vein of form.
That helps. I mean, I was reading just before that I think it's Mo Salah's 19th goal involvement in 20 games this season. Including his 2 today. I mean, he is like, if you're in doubt, if you're an attacker, you can take on a pot shot, or you just give it to Mo, even if you're, no matter where you are, because Mo Salah, his movement was electric. And I know we spoke just after the game and I said Konate was my man of the match, but no, that was the man of the last half an hour, because really, when you score 2 goals away from home, it's got to be Mo as the man of the match, I thought. But Darwin and Mo, they're getting used to each other. Speaking of goal involvements, Darwin Nunez, around about 800 minutes and 9 goal involvement. So it's basically 1 goal involvement per match, which is a world-class ratio, either a goal or an assist. So it's beautiful stuff. I think someone in the chat said he's just going to get better, and he really is. He's just going to get better, and it's already joyous to watch him, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, we've got this lovely future to look forward to, where we just get to watch him unfurl his magical rainbow in front of us.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Absolutely spot on. Chat, keep on getting your comments in. Make sure you do. I will be reading out every single one of them as well. Your thoughts on the game. Got any questions to chat as well? We will pose it. Me and Owen to the chat, or questions for Owen that you'd like to ask anyway. In terms of Lee, big up Lee, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Everyone, absolute legends. Make sure you are smashing that like button and really just help out the channel. In terms of the algorithm, anyway, absolute legends. The mid doesn't have the legs. That doesn't have the legs to get out of games anymore, and I think we will touch on that, Owen, when we're in the second half, because massively I think that's a case in point that me and Owen just spoke before we did come on air, and then obviously the fullback issue, we will get to that to Lee, mate, but you're absolutely spot on, mate, with that comment, and quite rightly you did highlight it. Always have to give Darwin an A for trying. He just needs to polish off his finishing a bit, but he's getting better and better by each game as well. Yeah, 100% there, Shay. We have Darwin. I have to mention some Shay Elliott as well. He looks like such a mature player for his age, and the future is looking bright
he was terrific.
Yeah, go ahead,
John.
Yeah.
Oh no, Elliott. I mean, when he started this season, I was like, how is he going to fit in? And it's true that there are a few little tactical things that we're going to have to get used to, but he's growing, isn't he, Harvey? And he's another one where he's got such control and such confidence, and it's I can see him, really flourishing into a beautiful flower for us. And it was, his some of his touches were outrageous today, and it was just he was great to watch.
Yeah, 100%. And the more game time he does get, as well, as Owen said there, he will mature. And as Shay said there, I think ideally Liverpool would have better quality in terms of an elite level, in terms of a 25 to 28-year-old midfielder that is very combative, very athletic. And then we would bring in Elliott, i.e. in the games where we're winning 2-3-0 up, 30 minutes left to go in games, or Elliott's got that quality to come on in the last 20 minutes of the game. But I think tonight, as Owen's alluded to in chat as well, I think there's moments. I think every time we do look at an Elliott performance, there's always room for improvement, but you get that with his age as well. And quite rightly, Shay, to pick him out, mate, because especially when it did get difficult second half, it's all a learning curve. And most importantly, if you are coming away from these games with all 3 points, it's a massive, massive factor for Liverpool as well. And there we go, Ricky. How we doing, mate? Absolute legends. So we got Owen and Ricky from the 1892 Reds podcast. Ricky, thank you very much for joining me, mate. We were just touching on Elliott there, mate, in terms of his performance. What did you feel about him? I think me and Owen were pressed, and Shay were, mate. Wasn't captivating on like the elite level, really, but I think he done for a lad his age in terms of it's all on the learning curve, really, mate. What were your thoughts on his pace?
Yeah, I thought he done well in certain parts of the game. I just think the way Trent's playing on that right back position exposes Elliott a little bit in terms of the way Elliott plays. Listen, Elliott shouldn't be in that position where he's playing week in, week out in midfield for us. But he's there, he's doing the job. I don't think he's physically ready to play centre midfield in the Premier League. I think there were certain parts of the game where he was getting pushed off the ball a little bit by Benacer and Basuma in parts, but he done a job there. Listen, our whole midfield was poor today. So he was probably the best of a bad bunch, really.
Yeah, spot on, mate. We will get to that. And bloody hell, John, I will read out all this. Chat, you're welcome. I love these big comments anyway, but bear with me, chat. I'll get read through John's comments. Thank you very much, John, and every single one of you for dropping your comments in. And Ricky's touched on a very good point there. And we will discuss, obviously, the midfield defensively. We'll cap off the first half performance by Liverpool, which was the better first 45-minute period. A game of two halves. He did his defensive duties very well and helped Robinson out, which is brilliant to see. Obviously, alluding to Darwin Nunez. You can see he's just at work in progress. He will be working on Nunez on holding up the ball. But for me, when he's spending big, when we spend big on our recruitment team with Edwards and Coutinho for 142 million, and we both bought, obviously, Van Dijk and Alisson, bang, now Julian Ward takes over and signs Luis Diaz and got Mo a new contract extension. And then now we have signed Nunez, great victory. And I think John's carried that on, have you, mate? No, but thank you very much, mate. You're absolutely spot on there, mate. It is a work in progress. And I think a lot of us, we don't like the word transition season. I think the fact that we are wasting certain players' peak years to club, but it's not ideal. But at the end of the day, the window's shut at the minute, and hopefully Liverpool do address those issues that we all know. Everyone's done podcasts on them anyway. But quickly capping off, Ricky, the second goal for Liverpool, Eric Dyer, Liverpool capitalised, and most importantly, Mohamed Salah. In the, just alluding to this statistically, I know it was 19 goal contributions in 20 games, Owen, that he did
exactly this season, after including his 2 goals today, 19 goal contributions in 20 games, unbelievable, under the radar, underrated.
Yeah, massively.
350 finally stepping up.
Yeah. So the stats are there, mate, and that's what he's getting paid the big bucks, really, mate. Did you have any anguish really with him? I think we all had the expectation of Mo dinking that over Hugo Lloris, but it was really poor by Dyer. But even still, Mo had still a fair bit to do. I know Dyer headed in. It wasn't the best headed ball back, but you've still got to get that in the back of the net, mate.
Yeah, I thought the second touch with his knee that knocked it in front of him really set what was going to happen up. I thought Lloris could have come off his line a little bit quicker, but he didn't, and he got punished in the end. But I think Mo Salah really should have had a hat-trick. I think he missed it easier, the chances out the 2 goals. Like
second half on that, mate.
Yeah. Nunez teed him up again, and it was sort of like a little back pass to Lloris. But I thought Salah was good. Probably our best player, bar Konate. So, yeah, it's good to finally see Salah taking the team forward, scruffing the neck, dragging them on, getting the goals. Him and Nunez look a deadly partnership. Just need Nunez to calm down a little bit, and the goals will flow for him because he does he's chaos, isn't he? He's just absolutely destroying Emerson Royale at right back. and didn't give him
He's a
time
box
to
of
breathe.
throats.
Yeah.
You know, I'm saying before, he is a box of throats. You don't know what direction he's going to go.
Mm.
You don't know if he's going to stay on the pitch, most importantly, anyway.
Yeah.
But I think Benton Cole was giving him a couple of fair words. Oh, no, it was Emerson Royale. Obviously, the Brazil-Argentina rivalry heating up anyway, ahead of the World Cup anyway. But, yeah, no, he's spot on there, Jen. So Liverpool go into the break, obviously 2 goals up. In terms of my notes, as we've mentioned, Alisson, Becker, Owen, how important, he's so important, mate. There's probably stats out there, but I should have really done my research, but the amount of already this season, I think it was you that put in a stat in this week, mate, in the chat. I think he saved like a 5.98% in terms of points this season for Liverpool, or shots percentage per 90 or something. It's crazy, mate. And we've seen that in the first 45 minutes, as we were speaking to Ricky and Luke on their podcast just before to come on air. It was an integral touch from Alisson Becker in terms of that 45-minute period, because especially after, there was literally 4 minutes after Liverpool did get that first initial goal, and Alisson, his position is world class. I mean, he's got some of the best world position in world football from a goalkeeping perspective, mate, for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an attacker, you're facing up to Alisson Becker, you'll be shaking like a jelly in a high wind, as PG Woodhouse once wrote, because it's just so hard to beat him. I mean, he's got a huge mistake in him. He almost gave the ball away, course, to Harry Kane. Came, from the like an eagle, hiding in the sunshine and swooping down Harry Kane in Alisson Becker's blind spot, but put a shot towards him, and he's like a student at the student bar. He'll down the shot. He'll deal with the shot in the way that you're supposed to deal with it. And he's a genius. Alisson Ramesses Becker. I cannot stress that that's his real middle name enough. People don't talk about it enough, that his middle name is Ramesses. And he plays like Ramesses, some kind of demigod. So yeah, absolutely love him to bits.
Yeah, spot on there, chat. If you know that stat that I'm alluding to anyway, I'll probably get it in tomorrow's episode.
I'll find it. Yeah, it wasn't me who posted it. It was. I'll find it for you. Yeah, give me a minute.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Go along. But yeah, get to everyone's comments as well. We will go into the second half. Chelsea, Thiago and Firmino both should be taken off. Firmino's poor today as well. I think I would agree with that. Thoughts on that? I'd agree with what Charlie said there, Ricky. I think it was, I'd be here for like 20 days if I was describing Fabinho's performance tonight, because his form, as I was saying to you, mate, his form, we'll talk about Fabinho first, mate. Yes, Liverpool were excellent, but in terms of transitional play, again, by Liverpool, the chances, not a lot of them in the first 45-minute period, but the chances Spurs were getting, I just wish Fabinho wasn't as ball-watching as he has been in the last couple of weeks and months, because it's getting absolutely laughable, really, and he is a reason, not just him alone, but he's a massive factor to why, in which we're going behind, we're conceding goals from silly, needless positions, mate. Thoughts on Fabinho's performance, mate, and take that into the second half as well, mate. But for me, he was really poor. I think to pick one of the negatives, sorry to do it, mate, but he wasn't. We've been here before, mate.
Yeah, I mean, as bad. He looked so tired, but on top of that, there's clearly something happened behind the scenes with Fabinho at Liverpool. Between him and Klopp, him and someone else. Is it a case where he's down tools a little bit?
I think he's just been. I think, mate, I don't know how you feel, Owen, and chat, let us know. I think he's been hoping that he's been wanting to go to the World Cup, but he's literally been given the news, the best part of the last couple of months, that he's not going to be getting to the World Cup squad.
It could be that, or I do agree. Someone said to me the other day that for the last 2 years he's been doing a 3-man job in midfield, and it's took his toll on him and absolutely battered his body, aged him a couple of years more than what it should have done.
That's the truth, in my opinion. Yeah,
I won't be surprised if he is sold this summer, because I think you could get a half decent fee for him. if we've still got FSG and their tight purse strings in the summer, I think Fabinho will be moved on. Listen, one of the Spanish teams will take Fabinho in that league. Italy will take Fabinho. You don't become a bad player overnight. I just feel we've cooked Fabinho too much, and it's now showing. And the Premier League is not the league to be standing in a DM position. Absolutely battered, is it? Let's be honest. You get exposed and you get demolished. But Fabinho is a top level player. I just think it could be the end of the cycle for Fabinho at Liverpool this summer.
Yeah, 100%, mate. No, and that's probably, as Ricky's alluded to in their chat, I get your comments as well. In terms of, let us know your thoughts on Fabinho chat tonight. But I think Fabinho, Trent, and Elliott, especially down that right-hand side, they all link. If Liverpool conceding down that right or within a pit at the area of the pitch, I think those three players this season have been a massive. But I think the most important player to that cog in the three in that system is Fabinho, mate. What's your thoughts on that, mate? On what Ricky said?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was talking to someone who's I don't know. We were talking about Fabinho. Talking to someone in Paris about Fabinho who works in football, and he was like, "I love Fabinho, but he needs a spa hammam for 2 weeks. He needs to go and chill out and do nothing, and do absolutely nothing, and just be completely waited upon so that he can chill." Because, I think the truth of it, I think Ricky's absolutely right that it's the fact that we haven't had any cover for him. We haven't had a number 6. I don't buy for a millisecond that Millie or Hendo are number 6s, because they're not. If you look at their tackling stats, they're very poor. And, that role, it requires so much concentration, physically to get around the pitch, because, turning around and Thiago had so much trouble turning around. He's getting better at it now, actually. But, it's the fact that he's had no rest for ages has taken a toll. And I don't think we can, I don't think it would be right to suggest that he's down tools or anything, because I think it can just be purely down to the fact that he hasn't had cover. He's been playing with us for 4 or 5 years already. Yeah. Pretty much every single game that he's remotely fit, he plays. So it's just, it's sad to see. But I think Ricky's right that I think, at the end of the season, maybe we can move him on and get a good price for him. But I would rather, for the World Cup, if he doesn't go just yet, send him. I was to talk about Butlin's The Lazy River. You know what I mean? When you're lying in a ring dinghy and the water just takes you gently down. He just needs to be in a lazy river for the entirety of the World Cup.
Just relax. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, spot on there, gents. We'll get to your comments as well. I'm loving some of these questions as well. Comments, sorry, everyone. Absolute legends. Quickly rattle through these. That was similar to City's goal today. Swap Dyer for Cancelo. 120 good either there, mate. And I don't know start on that Kevin De Bruyne dive. Christ. It was a lovely flick over the keeper. I'm not saying we shouldn't have sold him, but I thought a kid that prime Mane would have destroyed that Spurs right-hand side defence. They were terrible. We've got our replacement, Luis Diaz. I think everyone's forgetting this. I think we all are. I think when he's back fully fit, recharged, it'll be a breath of fresh air, and it'll be like a new signing, as the club would probably say. We need to sign. We have to stop conceding a lot more goals this season. We would have conceded a lot more goals once for Ali, 100% there. Shea. Ali Becker is on the source. Thanks for
sorry. I found the Alisson Becker's chat. The stats, not the chat. The stats. Sorry. Yeah, it's expected goals prevented. The top 5 keepers in the Premier League for preventing goals that are really good chances. Basically, Lucas Fabianski's in number 5 with 2.01. Kepa 2.73. NATO 2.77. Jordan Pickford surprisingly is second on the list, having prevented expected 4.5 goals. They can't have been too far from his body. And Alisson Beckett tops the list on massive 6.56. So he's two expected goals better than the second place goalkeeper in the entire league. He says 6.56 goals on average, expected goals. I mean, that's lunacy.
And he gets goals and assists as well, doesn't he? So happy days. Add that on top of that. But great stats there, mate. Big up Panov, absolute legend, mate. Hope you are well. Guys saying Fabinho's done. It looks like Fabinho's legs have gone. He can't run anymore. And then hopefully, as the lads have said, be interesting to get your thoughts. I think, and hopefully, we've all been hoping for the best part of the last 4 years that we sign a world-class midfielder, or more than one, which we all know we need. But you never know. It could breathe a breath of fresh air into Fabinho, and if he just focuses solely on the defensive duties. I think even when you look at Rodri, I love watching Rodri. Same he plays for City, but he is probably one of the best. He is, for me, in the top 2 best DMs in world football anyway. I'd put him up there as the best, probably. Him and Casemiro, when they're both on form. He just defends. He does his job. And he's got Kevin De Bruyne. He's got the likes of Bernardo Silva there as well. Fizzing all around him, Phil Foden as well. So I think if as the lads have said in chat, if he just focuses solely on that number 6 role, doing his defending, helping out Trent when needed, and just vacates quite a large portion of the pitch in which we all know he's been not vacating, but trying to cover for the inability of having certain midfielders that we all know that can't run, get into those spaces quick enough. But yeah, spot on there, gents. That's exactly the truth. Fabinho hasn't had an understudy for 4 years, 100%. LJ, big up, mate. Hope you are well. Sorry about that, mate. I wish I could do something, but YouTube being YouTube, mate. So hopefully you are well, mate. And everyone who are new around here, hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you do head over to the 1892 Reds podcast and the Cop on podcast as well on all socials. We've got 300k miles on his clock as well. Evening, how you doing, Steve? United lose, Reds win. Lovely weekend. Happy days there, mate. Happy bloody days. The less players we have playing at the World Cup, the better for us as well. Chat, you'll probably know a lot more anyway. Lads on panel, Fabinho, he's not in with a chance of getting in the World Cup squad, is he? He's not for me.
I think they take him. I think they take him, but don't play him.
Will be interesting. Obviously, preliminary squads, which will probably be this week for a lot of the national teams. Chat, let us know. But it will be interesting. Robbo dropped for Simicus. I know Robbo had an injury, but a few games away did him. Looks good, back to his best again. Ricky, yeah, touch on that point. Great point there. Shay, I know we've probably touched over certain players, but mate, yeah, we've seen that with the first goal. A lovely break from Liverpool down that left-hand flank. And as I said, I think once we get our midfield sorted and certain players up front fit and available, I think we will see the best of Robbo and Trent bombing on in the areas that we all know he plays so well with.
Yeah, I mean, I love Robinson, the way he plays the game. He's willing to burst forward with the ball, going forward. There was one stage in the game today, though, that I nearly broke my mate's TV. I mean, we're in the 91st minute, and he's running with his head down on the floor across our goal, and he lost the ball, and it just put more pressure on us. But other than that, I mean, it don't take a lot to have a good game against Emerson Royale, though, because he's absolutely dreadful as a right back.
That's probably one of the worst performances. That's probably I don't know. It's Tesco Express meal deal or something. I don't know.
It's shocking, isn't he? How Doherty can't get in that team ahead of Royale is just so bad.
Yeah, no, spot on there, mate. Spot on. And we will touch on to the second half. The shambles that was Liverpool defensively. We could not keep the ball for the bloody life of us. Christ almighty. I think all of us, Ricky, all of us around the world, or the away fans as well. All of us are fuming. A lot of positives in that first 45-minute period, but that second half was atrocious. But we won. So who's bothered? But we will, of course, we will discuss it and see where the issues were for Liverpool. But check it better. Interesting there, Gary. Brilliant result today, boys. Big up north. Thank you for tuning in, mate, as always. Big result, but our mid is still very weak. Klopp's fist pumping the crowd today, first time in a while. I hope he knows he has some to sort of a plan for January. FSD are what we are watching. I think we all are, North, mate. Big up, mate. As I said, we'll all be supporting USA, won't we? Just in the World Cup anyway. Come on, USA. But yeah, there'll be it'll be interesting. It's a big month, as you said there, North. Big, absolutely spot on. Yes, mate, I'll be having kittens if you have to sign Barella.
Barella, the only thing we're signing if we miss top 4 is Charlie Adams' brother.
Douglas.
Yeah, Douglas. But lads, we'll touch on obviously the frailties from Liverpool in that second half period, Owen. Very disappointing, I think, from all of our perspective, really. It was that inability to really just control the game, mate. It was just frustrating. Yeah. I think, obviously, the substitutions got noted down here. We brought off Bobby and Elliott, and then we brought on Jones and Hendo. I think it was on the 73rd minute as well. Spurs, quite rightly, in that second half period, as we all know, they were a home team. We anticipated Spurs couldn't have got any worse in that first 45 minutes, but their crowds got booed at half time. But what frustrated you in that second half period, mate? From it was just what could you pinpoint the issues were?
Well, I think we did fairly well, actually. I mean, Spurs had the crowd behind them. It wasn't good. I'm not saying it was a good performance, but in the circumstances of us not playing well, we didn't concede too many big chances. But we had big problems, like getting out. So basically, Tottenham, compared to the first half, they pushed up, didn't they? About 10 yards, everybody much further forward. And with that, they were able to sort of bully us as soon as we won the ball back and tried to transition, because we don't have any legs in midfield. And because, Darwin, if we managed to get the ball to him, even if we managed to get it that far, he was pretty isolated. We couldn't play intricate football in midfield because Tottenham was swamping us because they had pushed up so much. And, they had brilliant ball winners. I thought Bissouma was excellent in the second half. He was really, really good. I don't know how many tackles he won, but it was a ton of them. And, we just, that's the problem, like Ricky was alluding to earlier with playing Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott's best position is Mo Salah's position. But he's such a good player that you just, I don't know, we're trying to crowbar him into the team. And the upshot of that is he's very easy to run past. Very, very easy. On the ball, I absolutely adore Harvey. I think he's going to be such a superstar. But it's just, he's a headless chicken. He's got that sort of, a lot of young players have it. The kind of running around, trying to win the ball back, but not really knowing, should I go? Should I stay? So they end up going too far and getting pulled out of position and leaving space behind them. And Harvey Elliott did that. But I don't want to single just him out because, in general, we didn't do too well. I mean,
we won the game, which is the most important thing.
Wonderful result.
Sorry. Yeah, carry on, mate. Sorry.
Okay, no, I mean, I'm not going to. Yeah, I don't want to be too down on it because, yes, as I said from the top, I mean, you could analyze the second half performance and be a bit worried, but at the end of the day, remember the first half, how good we were, and the fact that we're, let's not poop that party. Let's get the party started because it was 3 wonderful points. But yes, tactically, if you're asking me to, what things we can improve on. We just need to buy more players who can run in midfield and close down spaces and win the ball. Thiago is good at winning the ball, but he can't. He doesn't have the dynamism when we're under the cosh like that. Yeah. Curtis Jones, by the way, you mentioned him for the last 20 minutes he came on. He had 4 touches of the ball in 20 minutes. But only because that's how much we couldn't get into the game. But credit to Spurs. They wanted to pin us in, and they did, and we had to defend with our lives, and we did. So bravo on that score. Yeah.
Speaking of celebrations, Lalu lads, hopefully he's still in here, mate. Happy birthday, mate. I'm not going to ask how old you are, lad.
Birthday.
But yeah, happy birthday, mate. And as he said,
Happy
mate,
birthday,
the Reds. So everyone from the channel, the podcast tonight, and chat, I'm pretty sure you would have said happy birthday, but you haven't. Drop Lalu and happy birthday, mate. And hopefully you had a lovely day, mate. Most importantly, as I said, the Reds getting 3 points. That helps massively. We know Liverpool, especially the last 2 Premier League games, they've spoiled our weekend. I think we'll all agree on that. But I rattle through all these last couple of comments anyway, and we get to obviously what Ricky thought that second half. Tyler's a joke. Don't we start on him, mate? I might do a bloody documentary on how shit he is as a commentator. Pardon my French.
Oh no, did you have him? You had him in England, did you? You had Martin
yes.
Tyler. Oh god, how did he react to one of the most thrilling games of the season? Was he like opening a tax letter again? Like, I owe an extra £300. The same enthusiasm for goals and excitement.
Yeah, it's just Well, we'll probably do an episode on Martin Tyler. What an absolute tool. Actually, looking forward to the World Cup now. Southgate sacked England. Southgate sacked England, turnover by some ordinary team. Neville home is a disgrace. Win-win as well. Happy birthday. There we go, chat. There we go. Happy days. Everyone's saying happy birthday. Hello, Tom. How did the Ev get on this week, Tom? Good. It was like the Foxes. Saying that, Leicester, we're Leicester 2 points behind us, Ricky, before we kicked off this game tonight. I think we were, weren't we?
Yeah.
So, but the Ev aren't too far behind. I think a lot of teams aren't too far behind us this season. But you're welcome, matey. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Obviously, everyone's saying happy birthday. Fraj, not tonight, mate. Apologies. I will get you on this week, mate. If you follow me on your socials, mate, I will post a link into the chat as well if you do jump in. But apologies for that, mate. It's just going to be us 3 lads at the minute as it stands. The one biggest phrase that's come out tonight, mate, from all of us, and Owen did touch on it, was stop the cross, stop the cross, stop the cross. Nearly turned into a church on a Sunday afternoon. That's one aspect, and we will analyse it, because as we spoke about, we all know Liverpool's deficiencies in terms of midfield. The athleticism of certain players not being there, and the way in which Liverpool, we play through our midfield in terms of the pressing aspects, as we all know. Is that something going forward, before we go into the World Cup period, and obviously post-World Cup, that Liverpool, hopefully, if it does get identified in January, hopefully. But it's the wide it is for me, mate, from a defensive point of view, Ricky. What did you think about that? Or what do you think of the second half, mate?
Just before I say that, just give a massive shout out to Ox. I thought his cameo was impressive. Glad to see he can still play football.
It's only for the social media, so they can get all the ladies like it anyway.
Where did we drag him from?
Yeah, he's a good-looking lad, Ox, isn't he? So, yeah, I'd say he's a social media merchant for the LFC TV, isn't he? So,
Naby caters out for the next 3 months. We're dragging Ox back off the table quick time. Second half, I don't know why we allowed it. Do you know what frustrates me the most when teams are coming at us? They always launch it to our fullbacks. And our fullbacks are nowhere to ever be seen. Like, their players can bring the ball down, quickly go to the shop, pick up a loaf of bread, come back, and they've still got time to put a cross in.
But it was the same like that last season at Anfield, mate. We all remember that game.
I think it's because they think Virgil, Van Dijk and Konate, because they're such big boys, they'll just deal with everything that comes in the penalty area, not thinking that teams do low crosses against us. And we said, when the team puts a low cross in against us, we just tend to stand there and watch and let him get a shot because we think Alisson's going to save everything that comes in his direction. But you see Alisson, I've never seen Alisson get angry, ever. And he was absolutely ripping Robertson for allowing that cross to come in from Kulikowski. But yeah, we just need to... I can't wait for the World Cup. I just think we need a revamp. We've got, 3 games left before the transfer window opens. 2. Oh, including the League Cup. We've got,
sorry.
Including 3 before the transfer.
Yeah, 3.
Before the window opens in January. Hopefully we've got something near enough wrapped up for something to come in on January 1st. And that can play that. If we are playing January 1st, he can just jump on the pitch the same day, really.
How many do you think we need, Ricky? How many do you reckon we need? I think we need 3.
I think we need 3, but I think we get 1 in January and I think we get 2 in the summer.
It depends.
What centre midfielders we're talking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it massively depends.
Midfielders,
Yeah,
Let us know.
I think we get 1 in January, which will be the lesser of the
bigger targets.
Yeah, I think it'll be the least wanted target-wise. The other 2 will be in the summer. I keep saying these. I can't wait for the summer to hurry up because these Jude Bellingham. I
might have to put a bleep button on the board. I might have to create a bleep button.
It's so draining.
We're not getting them. I'm going to ban that word on this channel.
Like I see someone. Who is it? Someone from another journalist. When they're back favourites to get him. Yeah, he really wants to play Channel 5 football next season.
But is it ITV4 now? I don't even know. I don't even watch it.
It's going to be interesting to see who. Listen, we've got to be signing players in January. There's no mistake about it. But I do expect 1 to come in, and the other 2 maybe we might sign someone for the summer as part of the 3 that we'll sign. There's talk about Gakpo coming in the summer as a winger. Someone's had a conversation with Pep Linders, some Dutch journalist today. I do generally think FSG, they're shitting themselves a little bit.
Yeah, they are. Because even the positive FSG people, and even me, over the last couple of years, I've been on the fence. But the last 6 months have been an absolute disgrace from the owners.
It's not even
they don't even the last 12, the last 2-3 years, really, in terms of backing Jurgen Klopp. As you said, Ricky, me and you and we've all done podcasts, and everyone's done podcasts, and even speaking to your mates in the poor boy, your family members as well. Yeah, we're so blessed to have Jurgen Klopp. Yes, the last couple of seasons he's made decisions and that, but if Jurgen Klopp has got the best tools available, then sound, we can criticise him. But the fact that Jurgen Klopp is watching the likes of, I tell you what, if Newcastle get top 4 this season, that'll be a massive kick in the bollocks, pardon my French, for FSG, because that would set Liverpool back 2 years, even, because it'd give Newcastle more money than they already did have. Obviously, they haven't spent money for the best part of since they had Ashley anyway, so all that money's been collected in the vault at Newcastle to spend, so... But yeah, mate, 100%. We need to go out and spend, but we'll probably get to the end of the World Cup whenever the window finishes, Ricky, and it'll be the same case.
Do you know what? Do you know what I've got? I've already got it pictured. We'll sign some okay midfielder in January. That's what it'll be because we haven't got the funds. It'll get to the summer. It'll be, we missed top 4, so the funds ain't there to get the targets we want. We want the right player. It'll be all of that dross again. We'll end up giving Milner a 2-year deal. Ox will sign a new deal.
You're going to be a bit sarcastic here, Ricky. We will be checking on the video.
We'll pay Naby Keita's hospital fee for another year. Listen, he's not. For me, he's not injured. He's going in January.
Yeah, he's gone.
Someone bought him in January at a cut price deal to get him done before the summer. Although he can go for free, I think the team are not willing to go into a bidding battle with a few other teams for him in the summer. I think he goes Dortmund in January, and I'm thinking Liverpool hope where we sell him to Dortmund, it will give us a little bit of a leeway and advantage in the negotiations for Bellingham or whatnot.
Is it Mikoko, the young lad?
Yeah, he's out of contract in the summer. He ain't signed a new deal there, but I'll take him in a heartbeat. He looks an absolute baller.
Conrad Limer's out of contract in the summer as well.
He's another one that's injury prone though. And apparently there's the top secret isn't this top secret.
He'll fit right in, Ricky.
No, boys from chat.
Someone's got to jump in the NHS when Keita goes.
No, boys, forget the transfer fee, boys. We're spending this on a medical department. That would be nice. We need to actually get a head doctor into the football club. Give the head doctor £50 million to actually do his job properly.
See, I don't get this outrage about us not having a top doctor. A club has 5 doctors. So by us not having a head doctor, surely the other 4 can put their heads together and act like a head doctor, surely. It ain't that hard to give Naby Keita antibiotics here and there and fucking ox a new leg.
They're probably all from John Moore's uni, getting in scholarships or whatever you call them in America now.
We've got a bunch of 16-year-olds in charge of our doctors department.
Yeah. Yeah, was it no wonder Jurgen Klopp doesn't want to do a documentary. Here's the medical department. We're like, what was it?
Mate,
Full on
imagine that
office
Liverpool
mode.
doing an all or nothing.
Yeah, it's our medical department. It's got Navi and Ox on the bench there, and it's 6 months later. And then there's no medical department, but we move on from that. We'll get to everyone's comments as well. It's been a fantastic show, as always. You are new round here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you head over to the 1892 Reds podcast and Owen, his channel as well, and all of his socials or podcast forums as well on the Cop On. So please do head over to both lads' channels and subscribe. Absolute legends. But I'll quickly rattle through all these. Make sure I haven't missed any ones. If you have, I really do apologise. I've still got quite a lot to go through at the bottom, so I will be getting to your comments as always. A 4 Fabinho is done already. Thiago slipping all over the place. Elliott brilliant, but subs poor. Not complaining too much. Yeah, enough. When we get past the World Cup, mate, in the windows, we've just alluded to there, mate, I think we will have a better picture, really, in terms of the squad. Hopefully, it's a lot more stronger. Today was awesome. Big up there, Lalu, mate. Hope you had a lovely day. And anyone else, if it's your birthday, hope you had a lovely weekend. My Jackpot results, I knew we would do it today. 3 points, 3 points, and a ride for Lalu as well. Big up, Brian. Thank you. You're very welcome, matey. Thank you, and to every single one of you for tuning in, as always. Yanfield Lark, enjoying the show, lads. Well happy with the win over the Spuds, over the Spurs. Absolute legend, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that, like always did. First half, well, second half, it was all. Lads, you, Ricky, Owen, were you on your edge of your seat? Were you standing up in your living room? I was. Me and my dad. It was one of them games where you're standing up in front of your telly like you're about to Darwin Nunez it against Crystal Palace, mate. Were you animated in the living room?
I've been moving apartments for like, I don't know, what day is it? It's Sunday. I got back on Thursday night from England, visiting my brother for a week, right? And I spent 3 days with about 4 hours sleep each night, just going through everything and cleaning and putting everything away. It's been madness. So I was ready for a crazy game, and I was chill though. I was chill because we had Ibu on the pitch, and I don't think we've spoken enough about that.
Go ahead on. Sorry, lad.
This evening, but I mean, come on, Ibu Konate, he made the big difference today, and he will continue to make a difference because he put him in. It's difficult to play against Spurs, to defend against Spurs with Harry Kane. He's a great player, even if he is a tool, or a weapon, if you prefer. And it's hard to be so cool and so composed. And if you take a look at that replay again, when Alisson Becker lost the ball to Kane, Ibu was the one who picked it up, always in the perfect position. And it was like that so many times today, in the perfect position at the perfect time. And not only that, but coming away with the ball with such calm and such coolness. And he's another one, him and Darwin. Our future's bright. Don't listen to the dullards, on whatever talk radio people have in the UK, whatever nonsense.
Talk shite.
Those people are talk shite. There you go. I mean, these people, as again, P.G. Woodhouse quote. What did he say? He said, "Some people's minds are like soup in a bad restaurant. You better not stir it."
And don't get me started to that point, Owen, as well. They had something rubbish yesterday. I know it's all about clicks, and you say absolute, utter baloney to get the clicks. It works because it had me watching. I was like, "What are you chatting?" So it does work. They're doing the job. It was a PK. It was overrated. Are you mad? Like, mate, like, PK's not overrated. But yeah, moving on. But carry on, Owen. Apologies. But yeah, that's
no, but just Ibu. I'm going to dream tonight of one day having that presence of mind that Ibu had today, that just to see all the danger and to be there and to repel it. And he was absolutely terrific. His passing could have been better, but other than that, he was absolutely wonderful. So bravo.
Spot on, mate. And as I said, there was quite a lot of comments really. Everyone, sorry, I've got to breeze through a couple of them because we will be shooting off very soon. But big up Rob as well in January. He's going to cost an absolute arm and a leg, really, Rob, and he would be a good addition. He would improve Liverpool. I think anyone would at this point. As the lad says, he will be going as well. Down everyone, we should see all what we need and nothing's done. Be surprised if the same thing happens this summer.
Do you know who's coming 100%. In the summer? Declan Rice.
I'd love that. I love him. I love him as a player. I've got a lot of West Ham mates. I don't know if you have, Ricky, but I think
West Ham.
Yeah, there you go. Like I've spoke to West Ham fans and I've said me West Ham mates I've do podcasts with and everything. And you were like, we don't mind if he goes to Liverpool or the City. We just don't want him to go to a Man United and waste his career. Really. Good evening. I'm like, I like it. But yeah, Declan Rice, it complements Liverpool really well, mate. But Ricky and Chat, get your 1 to 3. Obviously, 1 being your best man in a match performance today, Chat. So obviously, your 1, 2, 3, your top 3 performers for Liverpool tonight. Get them in the comments. But Ricky, yeah, anyone? I'll quickly ask you about Declan Rice in a second, mate. But in terms of anything that you want to cap off tonight's show, mate, in terms of Liverpool's performance, any players that really stood out for you in terms of the game that we probably have not mentioned?
No, listen, it don't matter about performances at the minute.
Yeah,
you just need to get 3 points to catch the top 4 up. That will give us a big lift going into the next couple of games. Home to soon to be managerless Southampton, at Anfield, so we all know what's going to happen here, don't we? Southampton will turn up like prime Galactico Real Madrid. And then obviously we've got Derby midweek. I want to see a couple of players get a game against Derby midweek. You got Ben Doak in the under-23, looks a real talent.
I'd love to see him.
There's a couple others. You got Calamore up front. Maybe if he's fit, give him a little bit of a game time.
Even as well. As we see in pre-season.
But today I think Salah, Ibu, and Alisson as a third, potentially my 3 top players from the game.
Yeah, spot on. So that Ibu first, mate. Salah and obviously.
Yeah, I'll give Ibu first just because I think defensively he was a bit of a rock. Salah, we know what Salah does in the game.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Especially as we've already alluded to tonight, boys, and we in chat. It was very nervous in that second half. Yeah. Owen, you're 1 to 3, mate.
Yeah, I put Salah as man of the match, and then Ibu, and then Alisson.
Yeah,
made a couple of great saves.
100%, mate. I'd go with Salah. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to go Ali first. I'm going to give him man of the match. I know Salah did get the goals, but as we alluded to in the first 45-minute periods, Ali this season, if we are to somehow salvage, and a lot of those comments that I did breeze through anyway, chat, but I did 100% look at what you were saying, and a lot of you were saying in terms of the change, and the change in goals for Liverpool this season. I think we've all had to very much recalculate our expectations. I think we all done that when we got like 6-7 games into the Premier League season. We knew it was going to be one of those seasons, unfortunately. But it's the cards we have been dealt with. Not that we're happy with them, but hopefully January will come. But 100% there, chat. But I'm going to go with Ali, Salah, second, and then yeah, I'd go with Ibu. Ibu third, yeah. I just love Ali. Christ. I seen a clip today, lads, and chat. Remember when we used to have Simon Mignolet? Who was your favourite player there, Ricky, wasn't he?
No, mate.
Simon Mignolet.
Do you know, when he first come and he saved that penalty early doors in the first game, I thought, oh, we've got a bit of a caper here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a bad shot stopper. Anything else, you might as well just stuck your next door neighbour in goal or something. Like, I mean, he's done well to be fair. Club Brugge. Yeah, I
tell you what.
Can we get Club Brugge in the next round?
I think.
Or they finish second as well?
We can't get them.
No,
we can only have Porto, Benfica, Real Madrid,
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously Yeah, Benfica were in their group, weren't they?
Let's get the
I
Portuguese boys. One of them, please.
Also, that'd be lovely. We will
I'll
be
take
doing
Real
a live.
Madrid over 2 legs. Do we take Real Madrid over 2 legs?
Not
I
this
prefer
season.
No.
I prefer Real Madrid over 2 legs in a straight shootout for one game.
Brian's went flat out now. I think we all would. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, Reds. Before the bloody die, anyway. We need to finish the show. Big up chat as well. Get to all your comments as well. We'll get the lads to shout out their socials quite rightly as well. The summer window was a complete letdown, 100% by Ponov, by everyone at LFC. We should all see what we need, and nothing was done. Don't be surprised if the same thing happens in the summer. 100% there, mate.
I would be surprised. I would be surprised if the same thing happens, because that means they're not listening to us at all, and that can only end badly for them. And I don't think they're that dumb. To repeat that, to not try and fix the malaise.
Yeah, 100%, mate. We shot ourselves in the foot not having a second choice midfielder target after Tuchemeni. Yeah, we've done loads of pods on that, mate, haven't we? Konate, very mature performance today. Big up Niall, what a win, Pool. Great weekend for football, mate. Everyone dropping points, teams around about them as well. Yeah, spot on there, Niall. Big 3 points for Arsenal as well. Today, we have no collateral to buy in the summer. If FSG step up, are going to be in the Reds anyway. Salah man a match, different maker in a big game as well. Would love Declan Rice, would suit us perfectly. Expensive, but money is definitely there. Ricky, quickly closing points on that, mate. We'll just kind of touch on that, and probably a little tiny bit on Arsenal before you shoot off, mate. But Declan Rice, mate, I said before, and obviously Steve's a big, massive fan. Are you a fan of Declan?
No, I think he's top class. I think he's at the age now, though, where he needs to move to be playing.
He's like 25, 26, isn't he?
No, he's 23. 23, 24. Yeah, he's 23, 24. He needs to be... Let me just double check that. But yeah, he needs to be moving to get Champions League football, to play that next level of coach as well, where he's going to teach him more about the game and positioning. We could easily get 30 mil for Fabinho in the summer, and I just think that you just put that towards the fee for Declan Rice. He is actually 23 years old.
23 years and 296 days, according to FB Ref. So yeah, he's that's
the right age. Bring him in, covers the ground well, plays international football at top level. I think Rice would only come in if the Bellingham deal was done, not happening. It would be the alternative in Rice. But it's not a bad option to have. And Declan Rice, I think he's top draw.
Yeah,
we see against us when he plays against us, he always steps up.
Yeah, I love the most about Owen is his attitude. He's got that type of attitude, winning mentality, even at the age of 23. Yeah, he's captain, and spot on, as Ricky said there. That shows a lot about his character, most importantly, as well as his qualities. But and that's what Liverpool have, Owen, isn't it? A lot of captains in the squad, and we see that from an international stage as well.
I think he would work very well. I think he would work very, very well in our team. I think he's an excellent player. I do think that for what he gives a team, I mean, he's really top level in terms of keeping the ball and strength and, passing and getting things moving. But I don't think, I think we're limited because we watch the Premier League and we don't, generally have time to analyze all the other leagues. I think there would be similar players out there. I mean, looking at
Benfica kid, Luis.
Yeah, see, I don't watch enough of the Portuguese league or even the Champions League. But
have you seen any
loads of them? Loads of names, but they're all out there. Sangare from PSV, there are loads of them out there. I mean, in France, because I do watch a little bit of French football. There are some really amazing midfielders in France that no one's taken a punt on yet. So I think there is, at his level, it's sort of like, it's a super good level, but I think there are quite a few options that would be cheaper than Declan Rice. And Declan Rice would be a hit, and I would love him to come because I think he's a super player. But I just think there are more out there outside of the Premier League who would be much more affordable.
Them players, I think, would have been good options to have in the different leagues if we were more smart with our midfield investment. I just think at the minute we're panicking, and they're going to want top level proven, come in now, play Premier League players in people like Rice. I think if you.
Yeah, but sorry, the Premier League, getting Premier League proven. Look at Jack Grealish. He was Premier League proven and he's rubbish. I just think you just need a good player. Onana from Everton, for example, really good player. He's made a huge difference to them this season. And, even though he came from Belgium or whatever, so I think you can find just really good players from other leagues. But I don't know.
Somerville, is it Somerville from Leeds as well? The lad that scored against us.
Yeah, scored again yesterday.
17-18. Scored yesterday as well. That's one to keep an eye on anyway, especially if he keeps on developing. But gents, I also drop everything on my desk. Not good. Well, a great way to end the episode. Every player will be overpriced in January, plus everyone knows, 100% what the lads have said as well. But chat, if you haven't got your man of the matches in, get them in before we do shoot off. But Owen, massive thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it. Just obviously send people over on all your socials and where everyone can find you, please, mate. Thank you, most importantly, for coming on, mate.
Well, thanks for the invite. Thanks to everyone in the chat. It's been wonderful to talk about a win. Absolutely brilliant. So Copon's been away a bit because I've been away a bit and moving apartment. I actually don't live here even. But when I get into the new place, I'm going to have my own little office, very little office thing, and Copon will be back. So follow Copon Podcast. You can find us. You will be able to find us on YouTube, but all your audio podcasts. And we're going to be back with a bang very soon, or if not a bang, then some kind of, not an explosion, maybe with some ice cream or a cup of tea. We'll be back with a cup of tea very soon, and there's something very comforting about that, I hope.
Absolute legend, mate. Yeah, absolute legend, mate. There we go. Oh, hang on. There we go. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. You can tell it's late in the night anyway. Right, there we go, Ricky. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. Obviously, I was on with you and Luke, so please, everyone, if you haven't watched the lads' podcast on the post-match, I'm pretty sure Owen will be doing a post-match very soon as well. So please do head over to the lads' channels. But just shout out your socials, mate, and obviously just shout out that post-match as well, where everyone can find you.
Yeah, 1892 Reds podcast. Thanks for having me on, Jack. It's all love with you on our channel. I don't know what my screen's doing. It's going absolutely mad.
That sound on my end. Yeah, it's all good.
But no, yeah, we've done a review of the Spurs game tonight. You come on, Connor come on. Had a good chat on the game there. I think we've got our preview coming up for the Derby game and then the Southampton game. But yeah, no, we're going to do a lot more content over the World Cup with looking at potential targets for Liverpool in January and stuff like that going on around the club. So yeah, come give us over a like and a subscribe over there.
Spot on, mate. And North, Owen, North, I know a lot of you do like your podcasts. Owen's got the best Liverpool voice on YouTube. Much better than listening to my tones, to say the least. Anyway, but yeah, I will. Mods, if Mark or one of the mods are in chat, bear with 1 second, chat. But North and lads, if he's unaware of Copon, he's on YouTube. Owen, I've just dropped his link tree in there anyway, so you can find all YouTube, Twitter, and all the social links as well. So please do head over there. But just a final one, Ricky. Just whilst I get up your link, mate. What do you want to see? What you're hoping to see going into obviously the cup game midweek?
I want to see some of the younger players, what we've got coming through, the ones that are nearing the first team inclusion, training and being around the squad. Be interesting to see if Ben Doak gets some minutes because apparently he looks an absolute talent. But again, we've seen some youth players come through, supposed to be a big talent, and go on to do next to nothing really. But yeah, Ben Doak. I want to see Ramsey get some minutes at right back. He's been doing some good things in the under-21 games. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Klopp goes. Does Klopp go strong? Does Klopp give some of the big names a rest? Or I always say you need to play these players in form to get them into form. So you might see a few first teamers get a couple minutes in that game, but I wouldn't be surprised if you get some of the younger ones in as well.
Yeah, legend. Nice one, that. Both of you are my co-hosts anyway, as always. I've got Ricky and obviously Owen's social links there as well. So just click on that and it will take you to the lads. Obviously social media. Derby strolled against Torquay today. I think he won, didn't he, Brian? Obviously nowhere.
It was
No
2-2,
Wazza.
I think.
Was it 2-2?
It was
Yeah,
2-2, yeah. Derby were away to Torquay and they drew 2-2 in the FA Cup first round. So,
that's not too bad. But,
and before that, they I've got their results here. They drew with Morecambe 1-1. They're in League One, if you didn't know. Like I
come
did.
on, Reds. Yeah, like well, we know our record against teams down the bottom, don't we, lads and ladies? But as you said, I was just a capping on Rooney. He's enjoying life. If you haven't seen Wayne Rooney in America, he's enjoying it. Love it. He's enjoying it. Go ahead, was there, son? Hopefully he doesn't go near any care homes anyway. But Owen is a young Hugh Grant, far classier though, as well. Steve as well. But gentlemen, panelists, thank you very much, lads. I really do appreciate it. Ricky and Owen, it's been an absolute pleasure, lads. And chat, most importantly, look after yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And as always, Reds, you'll never walk alone. And we'll see you very soon for another podcast. But the Reds are back to winning ways. And that's how we like it as well. You never walk alone. Cheers. Ta-ra.